Unacademy. Let's crack it.
Hi. Those of you don't know me, I'm Nishant Chahar. I'm currently a final year student at NSIT, Computer Engineering, and I'll be joining Microsoft in a month, most probably. 12th July से मेरी joining है. Sir, I understand only English. Okay, so we'll be talking in English mostly, a bit Hindi, but I'll just translate everything to English as well. 30 days challenge going good. Trying to do something. It's going good till now. How is your 30 days challenge going? What is 30-day challenge? यार यश, go to YouTube, search निशांत चाहर. You will land up on my YouTube channel and उस पे सबसे पहले जो वीडियो आ रखी होगी, वो उसमें तुम्हें सब समझ आ जाएगा कि what is 30 days challenge. So it is कि I'll be uploading 30 videos each day for this month for the whole June, and I asked my subscribers to like do anything which they like for 30 days. Like if they are preparing for internships or placements, let's do it together. Do your preparation and everything all every day and like post updates in the comments so that you can like see how everyone else is doing and समझ रहे हो? So you can like stay motivated कि you are not alone in this and you have others to support you. ठीक है? Please sir tell about internship also. हाँ sure. यार there is not much of a difference between internships and placements. ठीक है? Okay. Hi guys. So those who have like joined new, I am adding a poll. Tell me if you know me पहले से or you are new to this and came through some other medium or anything. Some of you do, but most people don't. Okay. 60% people don't know me. Okay. ठीक है, बताता हूँ पहले. I'll tell you who I am, फिर we will start with everything. ठीक है? Your videos are amazing, sir. I like them. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Can I do BSc CS and if I develop skills, there are. You can apply off campus. Amazon and Google don't care about your degree or anything. So if you want to crack one of these companies, you just need a good set of skills, and that's all. So around 50% people know me, 50% don't know me. So let's start with the introduction. First, sir, I'm Nishant Chahar. I'm currently a fourth year engineering student, CSE engineering student at NSIT, or currently it's known as NSUT. ठीक है? It's a college in Delhi, and I am an incoming SDE at Microsoft. I also had an offer from CureFit, and Microsoft was off campus. ठीक है? Then I have one Smart India hackathon. If you don't know about Smart India hackathon, it is conducted by MHRD, government hackathon, and it has a prize of 1 lakh rupees, which is divided among 6 people in a team. And we have to like solve a particular problem. You are given with a problem statement. You have to build a product on that problem statement. And after that, judges are there. And if you are selected, you will be like getting some prizes. So that Smart India hackathon, it's conducted by the government, and I have also interned at Samsung in my last summer. That is pretty much about me. So why I am taking this session if I'm not in Fang? So first of all, let's understand what Fang is. ठीक है? So यार, for Fang, F is Facebook, A is Amazon, the other A is Apple, next is Netflix, and the final one is Google. ठीक है? So why did this acronym like come across? Because at some time around 2005, 2000, 2017, 18, I don't remember the exact year. Someone in an interview said like made this acronym FANG out of the top 5 tech companies in US. ठीक है? these companies have the highest share value, like the highest price of a stock. All these companies have the highest price of the stocks, and that's why they are the top 5. And the top 5, you can like arrange them in any order. They like keep on changing. Now your Tesla is one of the top 5 companies, tech companies, which have the highest like your stock value. So it's just an acronym. It actually doesn't have any significance, because there are a number of companies which pay you better than Fang, which have a better work culture than Fang, or which are equivalent to Fang. Like you have Intuit, you have Salesforce, you have Microsoft, you have Uber, you have Tower Research. Then there are a number of startups, right? So it's just an acronym. So what I would like to tell you guys is, don't just go blindly about it. You just have to crack Fang, because most of the companies which you don't even know about pay more than Fang, right? There is a company called D Shaw that pays 25 rupees, 25 lakh rupees as base, and to some colleges it also pays 29 lakh rupees. None of the companies mentioned here like pay anywhere near to this company. Tower Research pays 25 lakh rupees, Uber pays 18, 19 base. Microsoft ka base is come, but they give a lot of stacks. Yeah, yes, Atlassian is one of the very good tech companies which have amazing work culture, amazing work life balance. We also have PayPal. Then there are a number of Indian startups like Flipkart, we have CureFit, we have Dunzo, we have Mintra, right? We have Cred, we have Meesho. There are a number of companies. Yeah, Zerodha is one of them. Nvidia is one of them. Arcesium is a subsidiary of DShaw. So I just wanted to tell you these companies, the name of these companies, because आजकल क्या चल रहा है, people are just crazy about Fang. They just target Fang and they just forget about the other companies. There are more than 100 companies which pay you a very decent amount of, very good amount of pay, which have at least base of 12 lakhs plus, which have an overall CTC of more than 25 lakh rupees, right? IBM is also good. I don't know exactly what is the like pay or what is the base salary at IBM, but yeah, Oracle is one of them. So I just wanted to tell you guys that don't just focus on Fang. Right? There are a lot of other companies. If you have multiple offers, then choose the best which fits your like goals, future goals, or anything. Paytm is one of them, but Paytm's base is just 9 lakh rupees. It is a good startup. Cisco is really good. Cisco is a good company. Then you have VMware is also a good company. I'm telling you, right? There are 100 plus companies which you don't even know about, right? And which pay really good amount of money to freshers or to experienced professionals. So don't always run about, don't always just think about Fang or cracking Fang. Okay? So we'll be talking about in general how and when you should apply, how should you prepare for these companies, how is the process, how is internship process, how is placement process, right? So let's start with the first round. The first part is applying, right? So if you have a good college, if you have a college in which companies are coming to hire you, so that is called on campus placement. In this way, companies are coming to your campus to hire you, right? The other one is off campus. In this, you are going to the company with your resume, with your projects and everything. Can you please hire me? Okay? So these are the two ways why people are mad about IITs or tier 1 colleges, because you don't have to go as much as off campus as you have to go to any other any other college in which you don't have much options, or only service based companies or startups who pay less come. Because in IITs the highest package may go to 70 to 80 lakh rupees, like, and the average is around 25 lakh rupees. So that's why people are mad about IIT JEE exam or IIT means to crack a good college, so that they are sorted for the next 4 years, right? So mostly people have to apply off campus. And what's the process to apply off campus? You have to get a job ID. Job ID means the number of ID. If you go to any website, any careers portal, there will be multiple jobs and there will be multiple like qualifications which will be required for that role, right? So if you are eligible for any of the jobs, there will be a job ID associated with that role, right? So you should know that job ID. Then what should you have? You should have a resume. You should have a good resume in which you have mentioned all your projects, your internships. If you are in your second year, you are applying for internships, then your projects which you have made in your college. And if you have any PORs, achievements, your college percentage, school percentage, you just have to mention all those things. You can check out my channel for this, like how to make a good resume and everything. You will get everything there. Then finally you need referrals, right? When you have these two things, like if you have a good resume and if you know the job ID, like there is an opening in a company, you just have to go to a person that I need a referral. There is an opening in your company and can you please refer me to this role, and they'll give you a referral. What does referral means? That your application will be in the topmost layer. Like if there are 1,000 applicants, right, and 100 people have a referral, okay, there will be times that a lot of people are asking for referrals and it is possible that all of them have referrals. So the recruiters will first check all these 100 applications and then they will go to the other 1,000 ones which don't have a referral. So you have a upper edge when you are applying with the referral, right? So whenever you find a job ID, whenever you find a job on a career space, try getting a referral. That will like help you a lot. For getting a referral, you need the job ID and you need a good resume. Okay, you for a good resume, you need some projects or some achievements. If you have done open source, you can add that. If you have done freelancing, you can add that. Yeah, GSOC definitely improves your resume. That shows that you have done some open source work. Yes, it's definitely up to you. Like you can first try off campus. If you are able to crack a good company off campus, then you don't have to like go for gate or anything or for MTech. But if you think you will be like able to crack a good IIT after MTech, and like MTech students are given the same opportunities at same or almost the same opportunities as BTech students, so you can definitely go for that. I have shared my Microsoft interview experience on my channel. Okay, so this is about applying, how you can apply. Next thing is online test. These two things are same for your internships as well as placements. Right? My channel name is Nishant Chahar. My name only. I'll send the my channel link at the end of the session so that you guys can like check it out. Okay. So you have an online test. An online test has like 2 to 3 questions, mostly from DSA, and it's from 2 to 3 hours. Mostly it's 1.5 hours to 2 hours, but sometimes it's from 2 to 3 hours as well. And for this you should give a number of contests. Okay, you should give timed contests on Lead Code, on Code Forces, on Code Chef, right? To practice for these online tests, you should have a good understanding of DSA. You should have a basic understanding of some CP concepts like segment trees, like BIT trees, Fenwick trees, or number theory, or things like that. But you should have a good hold on DSA, DP, graphs, binary search. These topics are intensively asked in online tests. And if you clear this online test, then you have interviews, right? We can have a Q&A session at the end of the session, around 45, like 3:45. We will have a Q&A session. All of you can like ask any question you want. Let's just complete the basic structure of this and then we can definitely answer your questions. Okay. So then you have interviews. So what is the difference between an internship and a placement interview is the number of rounds, right? For an internship, there are generally 2 rounds to 3 rounds, sometimes even one. But for a placement, there are 3 to 4 rounds minimum, right? And for an internship, they just ask you for DSA and a bit of your course of CS fundamentals and 1 or 2 projects. That's what you are required in your resume and the skills you need to get an internship. But for placements, you need good DSA. You need a little bit knowledge of low level design, some knowledge about your core CS fundamentals, OS, GBMS, computer networks, and then your OOPS. And you should have 2 to 3 projects, 2 to 3 good projects, and you should know how to like answer the questions related to those projects. So in the interview rounds, the first 2 rounds mostly are on DSA. In most of the companies, they will just ask you questions related to your data structures. It can be from strings, arrays, queues, heaps, priority queues, try anything and everything they can ask you. You have to like solve 1 to 2 questions in that interview. If you are able to solve those questions, you will be like given the chance to go for the next round. And that's how these interviews work. Mostly the last round or the second last rounds are your low level design rounds or your hiring manager rounds or your HR rounds, in which they ask about your projects, your previous experience, or they can ask you about your core CS fundamentals, OS, DBMS, OOPS. They can ask you about your challenges which you faced during your internship or your project which you made. So the last rounds are mostly discussion, like in which you will be asked about a lot of things. They might ask you about your projects, they might ask you about some subjects you studied in your college, or they might even ask you a DSA question. That totally depends on a company. For example, in Amazon, they have a bar raiser round. What happens in a bar raiser round is, so a hiring manager is a manager under which you will be working after you are hired, right? So a bar raiser is a round in which that hiring manager and a hiring manager from some other team also sits and like grills you, totally grills you, ask you a number of questions. If you are able to tackle that round, then you are getting an offer from Amazon. This is the last round generally in Amazon. And for Google, the same round, kind of the same round, is called as Googliness, in which they judge you on your teamwork, they judge you on your challenges you have faced, your DSS skills. They can judge you in anything or everything, right? For Microsoft, at it is a round in which you can be asked anything. Every company has a last round, which is mostly taken by your hiring managers, in which they can ask you anything and everything, right? So this is the overall process. In this process, you will be asked about your projects. What do they ask you in your projects is, which technologies did you use, why did you use these technologies, what all other options did you have, right? If you have any faced any challenges, what challenges did you face, how did you tackle those challenges, where was this a your single project, did you do it alone or it was a group project, and like what other technologies could you have used, and what is the logic behind this project, why did you do this project, was there any motivation to like start this project. They can just ask you anything and everything about your project. If you have done that project yourself, that means you will be able to answer all of those questions. You'll not be hesitant enough to like, if they even ask you which tech stack did you use or why did you not use a NoSQL database, if you're using an SQL database, they can ask you anything. And if they start asking you questions like this on your tech stack, they can judge you how much you know about all those things. Like if they ask you about SQL, they might ask you about NoSQL databases, right? They can ask you about vertical scaling, what is horizontal scaling, what is queuing. They can even ask you something about your low level system design, high level system design. So you should learn about these things a bit. Like if someone asks you what is vertical scaling, you should be able to answer what is a vertical scaling. If you have done databases, if you have done SQL or no SQL, you should know about all these things, right? So this is the whole process. How is it? The first thing is your referral, or first you have to apply using referral or apply directly on the site. Then you have an online test, right? After the online test, what do you have? You have your interviews. The interviews can be from 2 to 4, right? If you are applying for an internship, there might be 1 or 2 rounds. If you are applying for a full-time role, you might have 4 rounds. And finally, you just have an HR call or a HR round, and then you get the offer. This is a standard procedure in all of the companies. Whichever company you are going to apply, this is going to be the same. Okay, so now let's come to the session. Please give competitive programming syllabus. So for competitive programming syllabus, I recently made a video on CodeChef. In that, I have shared a link in that video which has all the topics or all the resources which you can use to like master competitive programming, or you can learn all those topics. You can just go to my channel and search for this. This is the second video on the channel right now. It was uploaded yesterday. You can go and check it out. So you will get a structured way of learning. So in 2 to 4 interviews, do they ask us to solve any DSA questions or just product? So they can ask you anything. Generally, 2 to 3 rounds are your DSA. The last round is your HR round, hiring manager round, or your bar raiser, or your googliness round, right? So first 2 to 3 rounds are mostly on your problem solving abilities and DSA, and the last round is generally HR, hiring manager, bar raiser, googliness, whatever they call that round in that organization. But it's generally about how to get referrals. I have already made a video on this. You can definitely go to the channel and check it out, how you can apply off campus, what are all the steps and everything. So generally companies hire in the period of December to June, July, because they generally need someone who can join the company in the next 6 months, right? I've pinned both of them now. You can just use those links to check out the channel or join the Telegram group. Should we learn development or go to in CP and give bigger contests? Is internship. So development is also required, and a bit of competitive programming is also required. You need development to make few projects, and you require competitive programming to like clear the online test, right? So you should have a balance of both. If you are like a pro competitive programmer who has a really good resume with like 6 or 7 stars, like people don't care about your stars on any website. But if you have like cleared kickstart with a good rank, with a double digit rank, or in India, right? Or if you have gone to ACM ICPC regionals or world finals or like South Asia finals, then that is something you can brag about in an interview, and that will definitely help you. But generally those stars or those ratings don't really matter to the interviewer, because they'll just be testing you on your competitive programming skill, your on your DSA skills, right? So internship experience is not must. Not everyone has an internship experience. But when you are applying off campus, you should have a decent number of projects. Like you should have 2 to 3 projects with good projects. Good project means you have solved some problem. You know the tech stack you have used. You know why you have used that tech stack. You are able to answer all the questions I talked about a few minutes ago, and that is really important. Okay. So what were we talking about? We were talking about hiring time, right? So generally companies hire from the month of December to your June, July, right? Because they generally need people who can join the company in the next 6 months, right? This is the major thing which they are looking for. If companies are like going with an hiring drive in the 7th semester or your odd semester, then generally they're hiring for 6 month interns. And by the six, if you are able to like do a good amount of work, if you are able to like provide something to the company, then they give you a PPO after the 6 month intern. This is your pre-placement offer, right? That's how things work. After third year, should we continue to work as an intern or search for internships? If internship done in second year or less, or put some focus on. So after third year, you can just prepare for your placements if you have already done an internship, and if you have an internship in which you will be doing in the next summer, then that will be amazing, because getting a PPO is the best thing. Because as I told you, internship interviews are like, I mean, placement interviews are much tougher than internship interviews, right? So if you are able to crack a company in internship, then it will be really helpful for you to like get a PPO in your next year, and you just don't have to go through that whole cycle again. I'm from tier 3 college. Should I focus on getting internship in second year only? So I think you should build your skills first. You should have a good resume. Then it will be easy for you to get an internship after some time. But if you are just hunting for internship, then you will not be able to focus on your projects or your resume. And in the long run, that's not good. You can, if you are, if some companies don't visit your campus, you can just go for open source, and you can do open source contributions in in big organizations. You can crack Google Summer of Code. You can crack your Google Seasons of Docs. You can, there are a number of open source opportunities available right now. You can just go on and just do some open source work, and that will definitely help you during your internships or placements. So yeah, most of the questions are answered on my channel already. Like, you are asking me how to explain your project. I uploaded a video 2 or 3 days back with a Google engineer, who like told everything about projects, like from where you can get ideas, how you can build your projects, how you can add that project in your resume, and finally how you can like explain that project in your interview. So you can just watch that, and that will be helpful. I've also recently made a video on open source. You can check that out. Which language to focus on? You can just go with C++ or Java. These are the most safest languages, because they are always like in fashion, or you can always get done with the online round in these languages. Yeah. If you are in your second year and you just start now, you have a lot of time. Python is good here, but sometimes Python is a little slower than C++ or Java, and it is possible that you are not able to submit a question in Python, but you are able to submit the same logic in C++ or Java, because they are compiler-based languages. Python is an interpreter. A DShop focuses on your overall skills. Like, they ask a number of OSGBMS questions as well. They ask you SQL. They ask you a bit of competitive programming as well. But yeah, DSA and your subjects, they ask a lot. I'm practicing coding on LeetCode and Coursera. Yeah, it is more than enough, yeah, if you are doing that. My second year is over. How should I go about my internship interview preparation? Yeah, I have already like actually made a video on all these questions. You can definitely check out the channel once. The link is pinned for for the Telegram group as well as the YouTube channel. You can just go about it. Is knowledge of automata theory must for interviews? No one generally asks you questions from compiler or questions from theory of automata, tau, right? From your computer architecture and organization, your microprocessors. People don't ask questions related to these topics. They just ask you questions from OS, OOPS, DBMS, and sometimes computer networks as well. Is it necessary to practice on more than one platform? No, one is enough. If you are, it's just about your problem solving abilities. If you are able to solve questions, that's more than enough. You don't have to hunt for questions on multiple sites. You can just work on a single platform, and that will be more than enough. Service based companies focus more on dev or DSA. So service in service based companies, you just need a basic of DSA and a basic development. They just don't want you to be like a crazy developer or a crazy DSA champ. They just need a decent amount of both. You can ask your questions now. We can just ask. You can ask your queries, anything you want to ask, because I have told you what is Fang, when do they generally hire, and why like you should go for Fang, because they have work on a really good problem statements. Their work is really good. Solving lead code is enough, but you have to give lead code contests as well, right? I'm in class 12th. I've started competitive programming in July last year. I'm able to solve code chef problems. I want to know how I proceed to go into Android development. You For Android development, there are two things you can learn. You can learn either Kotlin and like make some apps, or you can learn Java. So just go on Google, search how to make an app, and then just start making an app. The right way to study DP. So for studying DP, first you should do what you should do first is you should learn recursion. Okay, you should always know how that problem is getting broken down into a recursive call. Then try to memorize that recursion, and finally try to like solve it in a tabulation method. Try to solve it using a tabulation method, right? Okay, when should I start building up a skill like Android development? I'm currently in first, and you can start in your second year, in your third semester or fourth semester. You can just chill a bit in your first semester. You have been through JE preparation for the last 2 years, so you can just chill for some time. I just missed what FANG companies do hire around December to June, right? They generally hire people who are going to join the company in the next 6 months, right? If you had to choose between, I'll choose lead code. About referral, can we ask it from anyone who's working in the company regardless? Yeah. You can just ask anyone from that company. Doesn't matter in which location he or she is present. How to transition from service? I have made a few videos on this. How you can like transition from service based to product based. You can just check it out. Do you follow Striver Bhaiya? Yeah, I know Striver. Sir, I have made a few videos. I have made a video with him as well. To competitive programming play any role in interviews? Not exactly, but they, if you are good at competitive, you will be able to like clear the online test much easily. For full stack developer, which skills are mandatory? You should know a front end framework. You should know React, Angular, or anything. You should know Flutter, or you should know anything that works with a front end, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Then you should know any backend language. You can learn Flask, you can learn Django, you can learn Node.js, you can learn Spring Boot, anything. And you should know a bit about any databases. Will opting for CSC gate to get into IIT just a clean slate for your? Yeah, it's really good, because you will no one will care about the college you like did your BTech from, your bachelor's from. If you are from if you get IIT CSC tag after that, so that will be amazing. I'm non-CS branch. Any resources to learn? I've made a video on this. You can check out placement preparation guide on my channel. That is a playlist. I've shared all the resources which you can use to learn CS subjects. I'm not solve any questions and contest in CodeChef. How can I start? You can start. Yeah, I just made a video on this yesterday. You can check it out. Currently 2 months of summer vacations. Then third year, I have purchased GFG DSA self-paced course. I'm not getting logic, and yeah, you will have to like try for a bit. It's not like you can just prepare for a month or so and you can start solving questions. It really takes time. You'll have to learn the data structures, you'll have to learn a bit of logic, and after some time you'll able to like solve questions on your own. Yeah, machine learning projects are enough. Freelancing is good if you are like able to earn a lot. Yeah, so people are doing freelancing. People are like earning 3 to 4 lakhs a month doing only freelancing. Also, yeah, if you get a notification from an academy to rate me, because it takes efforts to like teach you guys, right? Also, tomorrow we'll be like solving lead code questions, the lead code contest, which will be held tomorrow. We'll be solving those questions in the evening from 5 to 6:30. You can join us. You can go on the Unacademy. My Unacademy ID is Chahar_Nishant, and you can just follow me there. What types of projects in machine learning are decent for big? Yeah, this is quite a dicey question. Like, it might be, some project might be good for me and not for you, but you should know your algorithms well. Machine learning algorithms, you should know about them, and you should be solving some problem using machine learning. That's like something about a good machine learning project for Android Vision. Yeah, you should know low level design, not exactly high level design, but you should know low level design for an Android developer. Yeah, it depends on person to person, Varun. Like, some people are able to get along with competitive programming quite fast. They are able to do it in 1 to 2 months. Like, they are able to solve more questions. Some people take 3 to 4 months, depending upon your speed and everything. You can just try. Okay, is it worth to MTech IIT or get? You can just do MTech from IIT. You'll at least get a 12 LPA package from there, 12 base. So I think you can go for IIT. If you are getting an MTech at IIT, tell your XP about your. Yeah, so I've made a video on this, but I applied to like 7 or 8 companies off campus, and I was rejected from most of them, and finally got an offer from Microsoft. So one thing you can learn from this is there will be rejections in your journey, but that doesn't mean you'll just stop working and you'll just give up all your hopes. Just keep on working, keep on practicing DSA, keep on working on your skills, and तुम्हें जल्दी ही ऑफर मिल जाएगा. Like, you'll definitely get an offer soon. What should I focus on in my fourth sem? You should focus on all your DSA skills, right? So, should I learn competitive programming coding topic? Don't do CP topic wise, because then you are getting hint that which data structure or what is getting used there. Do competitive programming without tags, and that will definitely help you. Tell me about internships, like which DSA to focus more on. Companies generally focus on your graph. Like, you never know what questioning a company is going to ask you, right? So you should prepare all your data structures well. You should learn a bit of tries as well, because companies do ask try. They will not ask you bit or anything, but they will bit, I mean bit, they will ask you bit manipulation, but they are not going to ask you bit index trees, bit, right? So you should prepare these topics. You can also prepare Huffman coding, right? I'm currently in my third year and just started data structures and algorithms. Will I be able to? Yeah, you can crack a product based companies if you are just practicing good questions. You have a good resume, then definitely you can a second year student apply for internship? Generally, no. Second year students don't, like, they have an eligibility criteria, but second year students can't apply to Amazon, Google, etc. Will doing DSA and CP will get you. You need your good, you need some projects as well, like, to get into a product based companies. Yeah, I don't believe in roadmaps. Like, every person has their own path, every person has their own speed. So if I will give you a roadmap like कि 2 months में ये कर लो, 2 months में वो कर लो, doesn't mean you will be able to do that in 2 months, or it might be possible that your speed is different from mine. So yeah, I have shared the preparation strategy, or the topics you need to prepare, in a video on my channel. You can check it out. So very less companies ask you system design, high level system design, HLD, high level system design. But low level design, a lot of companies do ask. High level design, generally Tower Research asks, DShaw sometimes, but LLD, a lot of companies ask in their interviews. There is no way to get an internship easily. Like, you will have to prepare well, you will have to have good projects, you will have to like get better at DSA, then only you can get an internship. There is not, there is no shortcuts in placements or internships. You will have to do that. You will have to get better at your problem solving skills. Then only you can crack a good internship or a company in which you want to work. Right? Don't like go about searching for roadmaps, right? Or shortcuts. These things really don't help you that much, because at the end of the day you have to learn each and everything. Because अगर तुम shortcut से कोई चीज करोगे तो you will be missing out on the learning curve, right? You will be missing out on exploring different technologies, exploring different stuff. If someone tells you कि Android के लिए just do Kotlin, and the interviewer asks you why did you do Kotlin, why didn't you like do Android in Java, you'll not be having any answer to that, right? If you start cross platform development and you choose Flutter, so the interviewer might ask you like why didn't you choose React Native, and you will be stuck there. But if you had like studied about React Native, you have studied about Flutter, and you have like chose Flutter over React because of some reasons, then you will be able to answer that questions, like how to start contributing to open source. Yeah, there is a channel, really good channel called Code for Cause. They cover a lot about open source development and stuff. You can just follow them and you're good to go. Like they really like tell the right ways, the right things you can do and everything. Can you give some hints on linked list and how to manage it? For hint on LinkedIn, okay. There is nothing like valuable referrals, right? You just need a person who is working at a firm you want to work for, and you just have to ask him for referrals. It doesn't mean it doesn't have to be the CTO of that company to refer you, right? Anyone who is working in a company can refer you to that company. So I am a beginner in DSA like 1 month ago. So what should I do? Don't do topic wise questions. Like learn DSA first and then solve questions without tags, and that will definitely help you, right? उसके बाद you can check out Aditya Verma's GP playlist. That is like really good. Tell something about your internship experience when you started your preparation. I've already made a video on all these topics. You can just go and check that out. You'll have answers to most of your questions there. So the person will definitely refer you if you have a good resume, right? So that's why you should have good projects, right? If you have a decent CGPA, if you are able to meet the criteria of that company, he'll be happy to refer you. And people get referral bonuses, right? If someone's referral converts to a full-time role, the company pays them some amount that is variable from company to company. So if you have a good resume, if that person thinks ki you will be able to convert it into a full-time role, then definitely he or she will refer you. You can just search Nishant Chahar on LinkedIn. I'll come in the top 2 3 results. Is the book reading helps in logic construction for DSA? Yeah, you will have to just solve questions, and that will help you in solving more problems or logic construction. You can apply in your fifth semester or sixth semester for an internship at Amazon, or even in your seventh for 6 month internship. So we are about to like hit the time limit. So what all did we discuss? हमने क्या क्या पढ़ा? We discussed about when, why, and how you can prepare for FANG. And we also talked about like FANG is not the only good companies in India or only good companies you should target. There are more than 100 plus companies. You can do your research, you can know about those companies and apply to all of them. Don't restrict yourself to 5 or 6 companies, and then you are good to go. Work on your resume, work on your problem solving skills, right? And you will be able to crack any company you want to. Elements of programming or coding. Cracking the coding interview is a really good book. how to find good product based companies. There are a lot of videos on YouTube, like Love Babbar sir recently made a list of 50 companies which are equivalent to Fang. Soumyajit Bhattacharya made a list of 100 plus companies which are really good in different domains. You can watch any of the videos and that will be helpful for you. Which one is the best for an intermediate? I think Lead Code or Codeforces are the best platforms for doing competitive programming or for learning data structures and algorithms. Thank you, bro. Thank you. You can just go on YouTube and search that, right? मतलब थोड़ी सी मेहनत करो. It will not take much of your time because it will take the same amount of time if I'm going to search that on YouTube, and same for you. You can just go and check that out, right? Search Aditya Verma DP. The first link will be there. So yeah, let's end this class now. Thank you so much for coming to the session. I hope थोड़ा बहुत helpful रहा होगा तुम्हारे लिए. You might have learned few things. Whatever I have told you, you can just check out my channel. If you can ask anything on the Telegram group, I'll be happy to answer you. So that's all.